Hello, beautiful friends. Hello, hello, hello. So, today we are diving into how to stop taking on other people's energy. Okay, so today we're going to be going through 5 self-care tips to help you become immune to the outer influences that may be taking you down and draining you so that you can walk through life regardless of what comes towards you, regardless of who you're with or where you are, with energy, with life force, with confidence. Today's especially going to be for you if you've been struggling with overwhelm or exhaustion or insomnia, anxiety, depression, anything of that nature. Then definitely keep watching if you want to be energized and feel empowered and free, okay? Free in your life. So if somebody could tell me that you could hear me, that would be fantastic because I'm on a different kind of system right now. And let's just start by taking a breath, lighting a little bit of Palo Santo, just clearing the space and just taking a few moments here to grab some tea, do anything you need to gain some comfort and clear your space. And if you don't have something like Palo Santo or sage or incense or rose spray or something, anything, then just trusting that this is reaching you right here, right now. These little rituals are incredibly powerful and so simple to ground into the body, right? But we're actually going to be going deeper than the surfaced self-care today. We're going to be going deep into, well, let me begin by saying this. So I was getting my hair done last week, and this incredible hairdresser woman, goddess, was washing my hair in the bowl, and it felt so good. Like she was a healer. And when she was done, I was like, thank you so much. That just felt so freaking good. And she said, I love doing this. This is my favorite part. I just love, she really went into like massage. And I said, you're a healer. She's like, yeah, but the problem is I take on so much energy. And she's not on the spiritual path. She's just embarking. So she actually asked me, how do you move through life without taking on other people's energy, especially as an empath, a highly sensitive person, a deeply caring or compassionate person? So that's exactly what we're going to be going into today. And at the end, we're going to, we'll see if we get to that. Okay. So I'm curious to know, hey, okay, cool. Great. You guys can hear me. So I'm curious to know who here, if you could just let me know, do you consider yourself an empath or a highly sensitive person? Or do you find that you take on other people's energy? Just please, during this live stream, include any of your tips because it's going to help other people. And also, I'm curious if you on my channel actually consider yourself an empath or a highly sensitive person, because I have been getting a lot of requests around this and just wondering how many of you this relates to. Okay, so the reason this is important right now is because I don't know if you've noticed, but we are a way overstimulated culture, okay? We're bombarded with more than ever because of technology and obviously the state of our world. And if we don't claim our energy and learn how to be sovereign, learn how to not absorb other people's energy, learn how to simply be reflectors rather than absorbers, we're going to suffer. Our health is going to suffer. Everything suffers, right? And you, likely, because you're part of this channel, if you are new here, we are all about raising our vibration, raising our frequencies, and really bringing our work out into the world, being more visible to make a beneficial impact, to make a meaningful difference in the world. The problem is that so many healers, light workers, empaths, highly sensitive people, coaches, all types of wonderful creative beings who are here to make our world brighter at this time on our earth are empaths and don't know how to hone their energy. So then they're afraid to be visible. And being visible takes energy. Like every time I turn on a live stream, my energy, I choose to breathe more deeply as I'm getting ready, as I'm preparing to turn everything on, because it's a lot of energy. And people can misconstrue that as fear or doubt or anxiety. I shouldn't do this thing because I feel afraid. The way I see it is it's just a surge of energy moves through my body in order to be able to hold and deliver what it is I'm here to deliver to as many people as possible. So that energy is actually a good thing. So we don't want to clamp down. We actually want to breathe deeper. And the 5 tips I'm about to share with you are not only going to help you feel great, they're going to help you release your gifts into the world, okay? And if you're not already subscribed, hit the subscribe button. If you want support in this, I make videos every single week to help you feel your best and bring your soul-centered gift out into the world, okay? So the number one most important self-care tip to stop taking on other people's energy is a morning grounding practice, okay? A morning grounding practice. So most people are starting the morning looking at their devices, speeding into anxiety in their mind, fearing the day, stressing out, immediately in the story. So I have a mantra that says, my mornings are mine. My mornings are mine. Now, hold on, because I know many of you are like, that's nice, Veronica, but my mornings are not mine. I have kids, I have a career, I have this, I have that. And I had many years where I was in that same boat. And for you, your mornings might not be as important to you. It might be your evenings or sometime during the day. For me, and you need to know, we all need to know what time of the day is your peak time to take care of yourself, to connect with yourself. For me, when I start my day with self-care, I immediately am prepared for what the day is going to bring. So I'm no longer absorbing people's energy. I'm going to show you how. I'm actually rooted. So a morning grounding practice, what I mean by this is, first of all, trade screen time for sunshine. Trade screen time for sunshine, all right? And the way I like to do this is I go outside with my morning smoothie. I take my shoes off. I don't care how cold or hot it is outside. I get sun on my physical body. I have my feet on the earth, which is the easiest way to ground. I'm fueling my body by drinking that delicious green juice or smoothie or whatever it is that fuels me and sets me up for the day. And then I'm also pivoting from ghosting my body to grounding my body. We need to, as a civilization, stop ghosting our bodies. So we're complaining about this person's ghosting me, that person ghosted me, or blah, 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 whatever. It's really just a reflection of how addicted we are to ghosting our own bodies. And it makes sense because so many of us don't know what to do with what we feel, which we're going to get to in a moment, that it's easier to just scroll and tune out and, just be locked onto the screen and deplete our system so that we never have to actually face ourselves. I'll get to that story in a moment. I have a powerful story to share with you. So how do you ground yourself? Another way, and I was sharing this with a hairdresser, is while my head is in the bowl and she's like finishing, my hair, putting it in a towel, I said, even right in this moment, you can imagine from your tailbone and the soles of your feet, and you can do this right now as well, tailbone, soles of the feet, tap roots going all the way down to the core of the earth. And just imagine you're not flailing alone in this universe. You are connected to something so much bigger than you. Mother Earth, the earth who is always beneath us, holding us. Gravity is like the earth pulling us towards her, asking us to let go, that we're safe, that we're held. We're not going to flail off into outer space. Gravity is like nature's loving way of saying, I've got you. Do you trust that you are supported? Do you ever tap into the feeling of the ground beneath you actually holding you. So when I said that to her with the taproot, I'm like, just imagine that taproot going all the way down to the core of the earth, past soil, past rock, past crystal, all the way down past water, all the way to the core of the earth, rooting in deep. And anything you've taken on today, just letting it just sweep through you and pass through you. You're not meant to hold it, and let it go all the way down into the earth. So now it's no longer a fear of taking stuff on. It's actually like, oh, it's okay, because it just drains right out of me. I don't have to hold this. What are your grounding practices? And for her, she was like, wow, that helps immediately. I'm like, yes. So really simple practices. So how to really stop ghosting the body, start grounding the body. And for me, the morning is essential. Another thing I do, so when I trade screen time for sunshine, I'm really going from ghosting my body to grounding into my body, because the feeling of the sun on my skin and breathing deeply and having my feet on the earth and eating something really healthy for me, it's my way of saying, I love you, sweetheart, to my physical apparatus, to my physical body. I am here with you. I'm not leaving. I am here with you. And what that does is it relaxes my nervous system. I'm not spinning out about the future. I'm grounded in the present moment. And from there, my body naturally will tell me what she needs, when it's time to get up. And even if you have very short period of time, it's okay. Before you head out the door, if you can, get your feet on the earth, on the grass, before you put your shoes on. Put your arms out to the sky. Take a deep breath. This is something I do as well every morning. Look at the sun. Feel your feet on the earth. And I say things like, heaven above me, earth below me, unite within me to create heaven on earth. And I just feel this blast of the sunshine and the earth energy moving through my chakras all the way to my heart, and then creating a sun of my own from my heart and just shining out. So I'm the one giving energy rather than the one absorbing energy. And that's a key and really important distinction, is that, okay? So what are you hearing me say? What this step one, this first self-care tip is landing for you? You might want to write it down, write it in the chat, tattoo it on your arm. I don't know, just to really bring it into your week this week. Okay. Second self-care tip to help you stop taking on other people's energy. Are you ready? Okay. Ask the golden question. Ask the golden question. So this particular hairdresser was saying, I just feel so much and I don't even know what's mine anymore. Like, it's just, I'm bombarded. And I said, simply ask yourself the golden question. Ask yourself in any moment when you're feeling negative energy, or you're feeling off, or you're feeling heavy energy or emotional, ask this question, okay? Whose emotion is this? Whose emotion is this? It may seem like a simple question. You might be feeling negative energy right now from whenever, and ask the question, and immediately you will know if it is yours or if it is somebody else's. The way you will know is when you ask the question, whose emotion is this? If it is not yours, you will immediately know it's somebody else's, and the energy will lift. Because it's not your job to carry other people's energy, right? You are a complete unit, as Shankaracharya says, one of our spiritual teachers. You are a complete unit. So you're not designed to carry other people's stuff. None of us are. And I want to make a whole other video on compassion, because we have compassion all mixed up. I know I have had that mixed up for most of my life. Compassion doesn't mean feeling horrible when someone's going through something. It means being neutral and present as somebody's going through something. That means not taking their burden. That means just witnessing with presence and neutrality, which is a master lesson. So ask the golden question. It is the easiest self-care practice in the world. So whose emotion is this? Whose emotion is this? And if it is not yours, you can literally, if it doesn't immediately just go with a question, you can, what I like to do is just say, return to sender with consciousness attached. So meaning I'm not a sponge. I'm not here to take other people's stuff on or carry their burdens. I have enough of my own to handle and manage. Um, Return to sender with consciousness attached. Or you can just, if you've already taken it on, just imagine it draining out that taproot now that you're already grounded with step one, and let it all go out, and just simply imagine that sun in your heart casting that light around you, and now other people's energy deflect off of the sun rather than you absorbing it. It's like you're a mirror rather than an absorber. All right, you guys. So, and I see your questions coming in. I'll definitely answer those. Awesome. So number 3, third self-care tip, to stop taking on other people's energy. If we did this one, our whole world will change for the better. If our whole humanity committed to this one thing, our entire world would change, including our planet's health, for the better. Feel what you feel. Feel what you feel. The reason we ghost our bodies, the reason we get codependent and take on other people's energy, the reason we try to escape ourselves with addictions and screen time and all these things that make us feel worse, eating way too much food or unhealthy food, or hanging out with people who are abusive, or whatever the case may be, or thoughts that are abusive, is because we haven't learned how to actually feel what we feel, because nobody ever taught us this in school. This should be required learning as soon as we hit first grade. How do you manage your thoughts? How do you manage your emotions? So when I say feel what you feel, what I love to do, you guys have seen, there's so many videos on this channel about it, so I'm not going to go deep into it, but simply don't let the feeling that you're experiencing become thinking. So most of us try to run from what we feel by blaming someone, thinking about who's at fault, or shaming ourselves, or, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed, or what are they thinking of me, or what are they thinking of me? Stop it. All we need to do is actually feel what we feel. I like to, number 1, name it. What do I feel? Number 2, where do I feel it in my body? Let's say, oh, I feel nervous or scared or anxious. Where do I feel it? Oh, I feel it in my heart or my throat, or maybe I feel sick to my stomach. So what's the emotion? I can locate it in my stomach, but what's the emotion? Step 1, what's the emotion? Fear. Okay, I feel fear in my belly. So 1, name it. 2, locate it. And 3, feel what you feel. Okay, so place both hands there, wherever that may be. Might be in 2 places, might be heart and belly, might be eyes, might be head, might be everywhere, but wherever you feel it the most. Take a deep breath in, breathe into the feeling rather than thinking your way out of the feeling. And you might have to kick and scream, you might have to cry, you might have to scream, you might have to dance it out, whatever it is, or you might get to dance it out, or you get to scream it out. Let it move through you, and then stay with your breath, and then come back to the present moment, okay? Come back to the present moment. There are many videos here. Watch those videos on emotional healing. But step 4, or 4th self-care tip to stop taking on other people's feelings, is to create your self-care kit. Create your self-care kit. So I'm traveling right now, and I always travel with my self-care kits, okay? So I have my essential oils. I have a lot of essential oils. Palo Santo. I have rose oil. doTERRA is my favorite. Balance, I put on the soles of my feet to ground. That really helps with the first tip that we were talking about. I always bring a little candle with me when I travel, and my Palo Santo. So what are the things that help you come into your senses so you can feel and ground into your body, rather than go into anxiety and ghost your body by overthinking and overstimulating and just getting lost in other people? What are the things that really nurture you? For example, the place I rented has a bathtub and Epsom salts, and so I'm at night just releasing and relaxing into the tub, So I bring self-care with me. I even bring my dark chocolate with me because I don't eat sugar. And this is super, super low sugar. And I bring this with me. This is just an example because to me, having a square of this or 2 squares of this is self-care. It's heart medicine. It's dark, dark, rich chocolate, which I love so much. And there's no sugar. It's just, and there's no fake sugar either. That stuff is horrible. Monk fruit, I'm going on a tangent, but monk fruit, stevia, I will let into my system, but all the fake stuff that's chemicals, no. But what are the things that nourish you? You know, it might be a playlist of music, bubble bath. I brought, certain foods and supplements that I take that make sure that my body's strong and empowered as I'm moving through this new terrain that I'm in today. So what is that for you? Yes, self-care kit is so good and I love it. I even bring my favorite lip balm with me. It smells, it has essential oils. These things just feel fantastic to my body. So what feels good to you? And can you give that to yourself? Okay, what is your favorite tip so far? I'm curious. All right, so the fifth and final self-care tip, to stop taking on other people's energy, is white space. This is an evening ritual, but really you can weave this through your day, through your calendar. I schedule white space. What I mean by white space is nothing scheduled, but I block out the time in my calendar, meaning this is not penetrable. No one is welcome in this space but me and my own self-care. And that white space is the reason why our world is so overstimulated is because we're going 1, 2, 3, next. And then when we have a second, we're going boom, 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 boom. Do you know how hard that is on the system? How hard that is on our nervous system that needs to unpack? It needs to release. We're such an overstimulated and underloved culture. And as Krishnamurti once said, which I think is the most powerful quote, there is nothing healthy about being well-adjusted to a profoundly sick culture. There is nothing healthy about being well-adjusted to a profoundly sick culture. That's Krishnamurti. And that might seem harsh, but look around. Do you choose to be like everyone else who is sick, tired, overwhelmed, exhausted, frustrated, depressed, not wanting to be on this earth anymore? Or do you choose to be the light bearer that I know you're here to be? You wouldn't be tuned in to me and this amazing community if you weren't. And I don't even mean like you have to go out there and do something big and bold and blah, blah, blah. You just taking care of you is a contribution. Your well-being adds to the well-being of the world. So what do I mean by white space? This is a time to decompress. This is a time to release those stimulants. So the thing I love to do at night, I was just sharing with a friend of mine, that at night, 8, 9 o'clock, all like Jason and I turn the lights off, mostly turn candles on in our, oh my God, this is like the best upgrade I made. And it was like $3, okay? In our bedroom, the lights were too bright. So last year I went to the hardware store and I bought like 15 watts with light bulbs that were more of a golden tone, not the bright white lights, but like the golden tone. And I put them in our bedroom. So at night, it's such a gentle, light, soothing light. And we have candles everywhere. Another thing I do for my white space evening ritual is I turn off all the lights in the bathroom. When I shower, I just have a candle or 2. So I'm really feeling and grounding into my body. I imagine the shower sweeping clean anything I've collected throughout the day. It feels incredible. So do you have an evening ritual? It's really about releasing all the stimulants. Food is a stimulant. Lights are a stimulant. Internet is a stimulant. People, noise is a stimulant. So if we do this before bed, we are setting ourselves up for failure the next day. This is incredibly hard on the physical body, and it almost makes me want to cry because I want to be an advocate for your body. I was sitting with a dear friend recently, and she's gained 20 pounds recently, or not recently, over the last 2 years. She said 20, 30 pounds. And she was saying, I feel shame around my body. I don't like the way I look. And I'm listening to her and I'm suddenly getting really sad. And I said, are you okay with me being blunt with you for a moment? And she said, of course. And I said, if I were your body and you were telling me that I'm not enough, that I'm too fat, that I'm shameful, that I'm not good enough, that I have to get skinnier in order to be worth something, I would freaking hate you. And I would rebel because she's having symptoms, physical symptoms in her body. I would hate you, and I would act out and lash out because I wouldn't want to be around you, but I wouldn't be able to get away from you because I'm your body and I'm stuck with you. I need you to be nice to me. I need you to be kind to me. And it struck her. It reached her, I think. And maybe it's reaching some of you now, because if we ghost our bodies and we stuff ourselves with whatever the addiction is, for some of us, it's not overeating, it's over scrolling, it's overthinking, it's over criticizing ourselves, it's over exerting ourselves, over giving everything we've got to everyone else and not having anything for ourselves. If we are stuck in that, guess who suffers? This beautiful piece of equipment that God, Source, the loving intelligence gave you. We were given 1 billion. If we had to, not even 1 billion, if we had to put a price on this machine, this incredible instrument, it would be $1 trillion instrument. If you bought $1 trillion car, how would you treat it? You didn't have to pay for this. And I don't want to preach, but it's like, wow, how can we create a revolution where we stop ghosting our bodies and we start loving our bodies and see them for the incredible gifts, $1 trillion instruments that are the most brilliant machines. If we take care of them, they are so brilliant. They are always working towards health. Your body is always working towards health. It doesn't know anything else. It only knows how to bring you health. So anyone that you know who may be suffering right now, struggling, maybe it's you, let's just take a deep, deep breath in and exhale out and just bring something really good and loving and kind. Bring some self-forgiveness in. If you have been hard on your body, don't beat yourself up for being hard on yourself. Forgive yourself. Let it go. It's just awareness. Awareness is power. And so letting go of any self-criticism and bringing in some kindness. If emotion is moving right now, that's okay. Let the emotion move. And exhale it out. And my new question to you is, how loving are you willing to be to your body? How kind are you willing to be to your body? If you just entered this new relationship with your body, let's say you're in this new love, you literally have just fallen in love with someone, but it's not someone, it's your physical body. You're literally becoming friends with your body for the first time. How would you do that? How would you listen to your body? How would you speak to your body? It might be, sweetheart, I don't even know how to love you. I've learned only to criticize you. Can you be patient with me as I learn how? So this beautiful soul who was washing my hair in that bowl that last week, she said to me, these self-care tips sound great, but I have to tell you, I have resistance to doing kind things for myself. And she's like, what is that about? And I said, well, what do you think it's about? And she said, honestly, I think it's about self-pity. I pity myself. I feel like I'm never going to feel good. So what's the point? And I said, so what do you get from being in self-pity? What do you get from being stuck in the victim? Because really that's victim consciousness. If you haven't already seen my video, Breaking Free from Victim Consciousness, it's an older video, like 4 years old or 3 years old. It will really help you. Like, fast forward to like a few minutes in, because I'm like greeting everybody. But when I get into the content, it is so powerful. I think it'll really help you. And so I'm going to ask you 2 questions if you can relate to her and feeling like you are resistant to self-love or self-care. I'm going to ask you 2 questions, and definitely please watch that video. It'll help. But she said, self-pity, because she has family dynamics that are really hard. And so I didn't ask her this, but I'm going to ask you this now. What do you get? What's the payoff from being in self-pity? Or what's the payoff from being in victim consciousness? Or what's the payoff from feeling like, what's the point? It's like, I'm not going to be good to myself because I'll never get anywhere anyway. Someone's just going to throw something at me. I'm going to feel bad again. So what's the point? What's the payoff of that? So an example might be, well, the payoff is I get to keep blaming my mom or dad for being complete a-holes and being like the worst parents in the world. If I feel good, I mean, this is deep, and I've seen clients go here and it's like, whoa. I've seen clients say, if I take care of myself, I don't want my parents to think that they did a good job because they're not the ones who made me into a great person. It's me. I mean, really unconscious payoffs. So they keep themselves in a horrible place so their parents can feel guilty, or they can blame their parents, or blame a partner, or blame an abusive relationship, or whatever the case may be. The second question to ask, so first question, what is the payoff? You might need to go deep there, like really uncover that. Second question is, what is the cost? What is the cost of me staying here? What is the cost of me being in self-pity? What is the cost of me staying in a victim mindset? What is the cost of me being addicted to giving and giving and giving everything I have to everyone else and not taking care of myself? What happens a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, if I don't change? Ask yourself that question if this is you. So the cost might be, oh my God, my health, or I'll never have fulfilling relationships, or I'll be depressed and I'll be, down on my knees. I'll be alone forever. I'll hate my life. Whatever the case may be. And the good news is, when you ask these questions, let's ask a third question. What is the first step I can take today in order to nurture myself, which is actually the way to rise out of victim consciousness, in order to take full responsibility for my life and to realize that you are a complete unit. Okay, it's such a beautiful quote from Shankaracharya. You are a complete unit. A victim consciousness is like, we've learned actually that the power's outside. So I'm going to complete with this. The power's outside of us. This is how our whole world has trained us. Our school systems, our politics, our economic system, everything says the power is out there. Teachers know, your parents know, doctors know, governments know what is best for you, but you don't know what's best for you. So you have to buy this, be a good consumer, and then you'll be good enough to be loved. Victim consciousness means sweeping that BS belief system away and stepping into creator consciousness. I am the creator of my world. I am a complete unit. I am connected to source. I am an instrument of source. I'm also supported. The earth, I'm connected to the earth. I'm connected to the invisible. I'm a powerful frequency. I'm a powerful attractor, a powerful manifestor. I am a complete unit, which means I don't need or depend on anything outside of me in order to be well and okay. From here, connecting with other people is icing on the cake. Being in this beautiful world is a miracle, and I get to share my gifts in this world. So what is your first step in connecting with creator consciousness? And self-care is one of the most important ways to do this. And this is how we stop taking on other people's energy. We go from needing the world out there to validate us, to validating what we feel, what we need, what we are going through in order to be generous and radiate this light out into the world, okay? So I'm going to look at your comments now, but what out of these 5 self-care tips, number 1, grounding, that morning grounding, ideally, not ghosting your body, but grounding your body. Number 2 is to ask the golden question, whose energy is this? Whose emotion is this? Number 3, feel what you feel, become a master. It has taken however many years to avoid feeling what you feel and numb out. Are you going to be patient enough to invest the next 40 years of your life, or however many years of your life, learning how to feel what you feel and not getting lost in the feeling, but actually letting it sweep through you, and just letting it go. The fourth self-care tip is what is the fourth one? Create your self-care kit. That one's actually really fun. And the fifth is white space. This one is delicious. Like, I was out with a friend last night and I said, because she's a night owl, and I'm like, I basically go to bed at 9:30, 10 o'clock. Like, I declared my space like very clearly. She knows me so well, so she knows that's when I go to sleep. But in the past, I would like hang out till like 2 a.m. and then the next day pay for it. And so this is it, right? So I know myself. I'm not codependent, wanting to please her in order to be a night owl with her so she doesn't abandon me as a friend. But instead, I stop abandoning myself, declare my white space evening ritual, and that allows she and I, in all relationships I'm in, to be healthy because I honor her, I honor myself. Okay, that's what it's called to be in creator consciousness. I love you. So good hanging out with you. I'm going to go take a bath now and be in my beautiful, sacred evening ritual. I'll see you tomorrow, or we'll talk tomorrow, whatever. So these are the kinds of things we get to move through. All right, you guys. I love you. This is so great, like being here with you live. Rebecca is in the house. One is Universe is here. Jordan's here. How do you know if it's the other person's energy that you are holding on to? You might have asked that before. I shared the second tip, which is ask the question, whose energy is this? You will feel an immediate energetic shift if it's somebody else's. You'll just know. It's a feeling in your body. And the more you ground into your body, which is step one, you'll have a very direct line of communication with your body. And you'll know, because your body will you'll feel the energy lift, or you'll see a picture in your mind's eye of somebody, or you'll just get a sense that the energy comes from outside. So that's basically how you know. And if it's yours, then you get to feel what you feel, validate your feelings, go deep into self-care to move through the emotion. And self-forgiveness is really critical. Clean up some of the self-forgiveness. In the white space, in the evening rituals, presence, meditation. This is what I do at night before bed instead of scrolling, taking a bath, self-forgiveness, tapping, whatever you want to do to release, right? Make space for that energy, or release some of that energy. Joe is here. Allie is here. Bonker is here. Gazal, I feel like everyone around me is selfish. Okay, so sometimes, and I would ask two questions. One, where in my life am I being selfish? Number two, I'd ask the question, what do I get from having attracted all these selfish people into my life? So you might have an old contract that says, I have to do everything for everyone else and I don't get anything for myself. That might be an old unconscious agreement that you get to clean up by basically setting your boundaries with those people and becoming self-care focused yourself, especially if they think you're selfish, right? Let yourself take care of you. I love hearing you speak. Aw, Emily. Tiffany, I love you. Can I have a mini you, Veronica, on my shoulder? Emily. Jordan, that really hit home. Which part? I'm curious. Lily, you are an incredible mentor. Lily, you are an incredible, I was almost going to say fairy godmother. You know what I'm talking about, but you are an amazing being of light, and I love you a whole lot. Priyanta is here. Eric, thank you, Veronica. You always lift me up. Love from Stockholm. Very cool. Emily, do you think anyone in any stage of their life can do this, like being a mother and wife, still trying to figure out how to balance it out? Yes, and please check out Harley Salazar's channel. She just recently started a channel. Go to harleysalazar.com. So HarleySalazar.com, harleysalazar.com. She has an incredible mother circle where she only holds 4 women at a time, and it's very affordable and it's incredibly powerful. She's doing that exact work. She does something called the Balanced Mom Prescription. She's incredible. She's actually trained with us on the Diamond Process Coach training. She's an amazing coach. And yes, to answer your question, she's living proof. She has 2 little boys, and she's living proof that it's possible. And she's also really honest about it, really authentic. There are different stages of life, and some stages are a lot easier. And when you have little kids, it's she teaches you how to find that space in your life. Yeah, to answer your question, yes, but I'm not an expert in that. But I would definitely check out her work. Email her, reach out to her. She will be so happy to hear from you. Ghazal is saying, I'm struggling financially and it's keeping me away from being present in the moment. I feel lack. I really hear you, because I struggled with that for years. And I have other videos on this channel, but I just thank you. I know you don't have a question there, but I'm just thank you for sharing it. Sometimes it's just bringing the awareness to it, and making the commitment to raising your financial frequency. Raising your financial frequency. Kind of called to make a video on this now, because that's a whole topic. In the Diamond Dojo, we actually have trainings on this. If you want to join the dojo, go to thediamonddojo.com. You can try that. We have actual workshops on Raise Your Financial Frequency, a 4-hour workshop. Know whose energy it is. And then number 3, feel what you feel. If you take care of you. Number 2, you will know. Number 3, what you are feeling is your authentic self. I love it, Jordan. Hi, Eileen, Dale, Elizabeth. I just did 30 minutes laying out in the sun and listened to a meditation and did some deep breathing. Came in and drank lime water. Just that alone make me feel better. Thank you so much for sharing that. That's exactly it. Dale, I'm good. Thank you. Madiha said, you have the warmth of a kindergarten teacher. That's awesome. Thank you. Jordan said, I think because I have parented my inner kindergartner so deeply that's why it maybe comes out that way. The inner child work is so pivotal. What hit home was the part where you talked about living for others and not taking care of yourself. What will happen in 1, 2, 5, 10 years from then if you don't take care of yourself now? I would definitely sit with that one. So glad that you're receiving that, Jordan. You know, as good-hearted, compassionate, creative, sensitive or empathic souls in this world who actually care about life and other people and our planet, sometimes we can take on too much. And the lesson many of us have is to put ourselves first. My mantra is, it is safe. It actually almost brings tears to my eyes even now when I say it. It is safe for me to put myself first. It is safe for me to put myself first. I'm still in the process of training myself into remembering that I am a complete unit and that it is my responsibility to put myself first so that I can give from the overflow. Thank you so much. You are welcome. Julie is in the house. Thank you for these reminders. I'll be taking a bath tonight. Awesome, Julie. It's so awesome that you're here live. Anne is here. This is so powerful. You're amazing. You're amazing. Gong Sun, who made your necklace? So good. Isn't that amazing? I was in Turkey, in Istanbul, and a couple years ago with Jason, and I found this, we were in this, what is it called, like vintage area, and this guy had handmade this. I have no idea who he is or how to find him because I get comments on it a lot. All right, you guys, I am sending you so much love. Let's take a deep, glorious breath in and exhale it out. One more deep breath like that. Inhaling in, receiving something good here. Breathing into your heart space and into your belly. Taking another sip of breath in, exhaling it out, letting go, making space. And actually one more just like that. Take another deep breath in, receive something good. And on the exhale, just sending light ahead to your path, to light those around you, light to someone you love. And remember that the most powerful thing we can do is take really good care of ourselves so that we can be present with one another, with ourselves, with our beautiful earth, And this is what changes our world. All right, my friends, all of my love, and I will see you in the next video. If you haven't already subscribed and you'd like to, hit the subscribe button. If you got something from this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you want to learn how to raise your frequency, command your frequency, regardless of outer circumstance, in the box below, I put a free gift that I recently created for you, which is 3 keys to commanding your frequency. And it's a 3-day mini it's a video series, and as soon as you can check out the link below, okay? And just sending you guys a whole lot of love. I'll see you in the next video. Mwah! Thank you so much for being here today.